Welcome back to the channel. This is Trinity Storm and you are watching 6th part of What If Naruto Became a Player. If you enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
You've been to bed and slept there. HP and CP have been fully fixed. Naruto woke up and got ready for the day ahead. After a quick cold shower and brushing his teeth, Naruto ate a quick breakfast of rice and grilled fish, a recipe he'd learned from Nami and come to really enjoy. Rice and fish on the grill. Restores 1000 HP. Plus 50 VIT and plus 20 Dex for 60 minutes. As for where the fish came from, that was another thing he had learned in Nami no Kuni. Fishing. Active, level 13.12% CP5. It's satisfying to catch your own food, and the waters of the elemental nations are full of food if you have the time and patience to look for it. 13% more chance of catching fish that you can eat. He had a lot of horse mackerel and salmon in his inventory because of this. Speaking of which, he would need to sell most of it as soon as possible so it doesn't go bad on him. Another thing he had learned about his stock was that food still had a date when it would go bad, so it didn't really keep things in place. Which reminded him that he needed to start doing daily tasks again. After having such a great time on the Nami no Kuni mission, Naruto didn't want to go back to his normal life. Not the mission itself, but the time spent training without any distractions. There are no daily tasks to waste time on. Just training and going through a dungeon with someone who was starting to become a good friend. Okay, Sakura was still sometimes rude, but she seemed to have at least learned to respect him. It was a beginning. When Naruto talked about Sakura, he felt like he was finally over his crush on her. She was his friend, but that was about all she was. He knew her a lot better after spending so much time with her every day for the past month or close to 2 months. She was very girly, and he didn't like that about her. She always had something bad to say about everything, and if something went just a little bit wrong, she would say it louder and for longer. She likes flowers, shopping, and wearing pretty clothes and jewelry. Naruto likes to train, play video games, and use weapons. The only thing they had in common was that they were both shinobi, but she didn't take it as seriously as Naruto did. She did it to protect herself and her family, which was a bit selfish but still a good reason. If you had asked Naruto a year ago why he was becoming a shinobi, he would have said it was to gain respect so that people would stop looking down on him. Now, he could say it was the will of fire that his grandfather always told him about. He was determined to protect everyone, including his team, his friends, and even the villagers, who didn't always treat him well. Even if he couldn't win their respect, he would still protect them all until the day he died. When Naruto found out, he was sad, but not as sad as he thought he would be. Still, they were going to be teammates for a long time, so it was probably for the best in the long run. After Naruto ate his breakfast and thought about himself, he left his apartment, but his landlord, Mikey Oda, was waiting for him outside. The cranky old man said, "You're 2 months behind on rent. Pay me by the end of the day or you're out." Naruto really wanted to smash the guy's head through a wall, but he stopped himself. He would take on the job and solve the problem. "I'll take care of the rats in the basement again," Naruto said. "That will pay your rent for 1 month, but what about the other 2? "What are the other 2 months? Naruto asked. "You owe for last month and this month, plus a 1-month late fee," the old man said with a little smile. Naruto asked, "What do you want me to do?" "Fix the hot water heater." Naruto gave the man a look that said, "I really want to kill you." "That's it?" "Yeah," he said, and then he turned and left. Quest alert. It's time to pay rent. If you don't pay your rent by 6 p.m., you'll be kicked out. Pay the landlord 1000 ryo by 6 p.m., or clean out the chakra rat nest in the basement by 6 p.m., you must bring the rat's tails as proof. Award for completion, 500 express. Increase your reputation with the landlord. If you clean out the chakra rat nest, your reputation will go up twice as much. Completion failure, eviction. Lessen your standing with Konoha. Naruto rolled his eyes and said, "Okay." The second quest window then showed up. Quest alert. Rent is past due, pay rent. If you don't pay your rent by 6 p.m., you'll be kicked out. In exchange for back rent and the late fee, the landlord wants the hot water heater to be fixed. Award for completion, 5000 express. Improve your standing with the landlord. Completion failure, eviction. Lessen your standing with Konoha. Again, Naruto said yes. It also meant he'd have to go to the general store to see if he could get a day's shopping pass again. Then he would have to buy a lot of books on how to fix things around the house. So, Naruto's plans for the day had to change because he had to work. Naruto finished all of his daily quests in the market district, including the harder one at the general store for the shopping pass, in about an hour and a half. After that, Naruto went to the store and bought every book he could find. Skill Book, Intermediate Home Repair and Maintenance. Skill Book, Advanced Home Repair and Maintenance. Skill Book, How to Fix a Water Heater. Skill Book, Window Repair. Floor Repair, Skill Book. Ceiling Repair, Skill Book. Skill Book, Interior Wall Repair. Skill Book, Exterior Wall Repair. Skill Book, How to Fix a Foundation. Skill Book for Roof Repair. How to Fix Electric Wiring, Skill Book. How to Fix an Electric Switch, Skill Book. How to Fix an Electrical Outlet, Skill Book. How to Fix an Electric Fuse Box, Skill Book. How to Fix Electric Lights, Skill Book. How to Fix Electric Heating, Skill Book. How to Fix an Air Conditioner, Skill Book. Skill Book for Duct Repair. Skill Book for Fireplace Repair. Skill Book, How to Fix Furniture. Skill Book, How to Repair Upholstery. Stovetop Burner Repair, Skill Book. Oven Repair, Skill Book. How to Fix Bathroom Tiles, Skill Book. Skill Book, How to Fix a Shower. Refrigerator Repair, Skill Book. Tatami Repair, Skill Book. Beginner Home Painting, Skill Book. Skill Book for Intermediate Home Painting. Skill Book for Advanced Home Painting. Skill Book on How to Repair Plaster. Skill Book, How to Fix Masonry. Cement Repair, Skill Book. Beginner Demolition, Skill Book. Book of Skills for Intermediate Demolition. Skill Book for Advanced Demolition. Naruto carried the 36 skill books, which were quite heavy, to the counter. Some of them wouldn't even work for him, but he'd be damned if he didn't level up this one skill as much as he could at this point. The clerk still made fun of him, but he was happy to ring up his purchases and charge him 18,000 ryo for the books. After he paid, Naruto left the store and went into an alley. Naruto began to pick up the books one by one and try to learn what was in them. He learned 3 books and then got a LV Max message, so he picked up the intermediate skill book and learned it. He started going through the books again after that. He read another 19 books and got another LV Max, so he grabbed the advanced skill book, which gave him access to more levels. He finished the last 12 books after that. Home Maintenance and Repair, Active, LV52 Express, 0.00 CP, 5. Every man should be able to fix things that break around the house. It's amazing how much you can do with just a hammer and nails. When Home Repair and Maintenance is turned on, it goes 50% faster. Naruto knew everything he needed to know to fix the water heater in his building, so he went back to the general store to get the parts he needed. He spent another 10,000 ryo to buy a variety of parts that, based on what he knew, could fix anything wrong with the water heater except a big hole that would have to be fixed by replacing it. He then went back to his apartment. Naruto easily got rid of the rats, and none of them, not even the king, taught him anything. After killing the rats, Naruto started fixing the water heater. Thank goodness it didn't have a big hole or even a leak. The pilot had to be replaced for it to work, but Naruto decided to use all the parts he bought anyway and replace several pieces that were clearly worn and about to break. In the end, he got 3 more levels in Home Repair and Maintenance, and even better, he now had hot water in the morning. Naruto took a step back from the water heater and looked at it with pride. It was really a lot of work. Then he noticed something strange. There was a health bar on the water heater. He hadn't even noticed it, or maybe he couldn't see it before, but now he could see that it had a health bar. It wasn't a health bar, though. It was a quality bar. This quality bar was hovering around 63% and said, functional, below it. Naruto shook his head once because the game had given him yet another thing to deal with, but it wasn't necessarily a bad thing right now. Naruto took a moment to look around the rest of the basement. His mind immediately came up with a list of things that needed fixing, including the fuse box, which the rats had been using to make nests, the building furnace, which looked like it hadn't worked in years, and the building's foundation, which had a lot of cracks and holes that needed fixing. This was probably how all those damned chakra rats and flicks kept getting in. All of them were of low quality, and many of them were marked as non-functional. Still, Naruto wasn't going to fix it. He had no reason to fix up a building that was going to be destroyed in a few years anyway. He could buy a nicer apartment in a year or two if he played his cards right and built up his reputation. Naruto put his tools in the trash from his repairs in a bag and left the basement. He threw the trash in the bin outside on his way to the building manager to turn in the quest. "Okay, it's over, you cheap old Scrooge," Naruto yelled at the old man. "Good, then you don't have to worry about your rent," said Oda. The old man turned around and left without saying anything else. He was really a rude old jerk. Naruto left his apartment building again right away, this time to try to find Shikamaru and Choji. He looked in the usual places where the two liked to hang out, like Yakiniku-Q, Shogi Park, and a few of Shikamaru's favorite places to watch clouds, before deciding to try their clan houses. "Hi, my name is Naruto, and I'm looking for Shikamaru," Naruto said to one of the guards outside the Nara clan gates. "He's not in," said the guard. "He didn't say this to be mean. Is he going somewhere? I think he went to see the heir to the Akamichi clan." "Thanks," Naruto said. It was the easiest conversation he had ever had with a guard from the Nara clan. And because he knew them, it made him a little bit suspicious. Naruto didn't need much time to get to Choji's house. The Nara clan had a big compound, but the Akamichi had more of a neighborhood. They didn't have gates, walls, or guards. They did have a patrol, but it wasn't very strict. "Hello Naruto-kun," greeted Choji's mom. Naruto had met the woman many times by this point, and every time he did, he was surprised by how nice she was, even to him. "Hello Akamichi-san, are Choji and Shikamaru here? You just missed them. They were going to meet with Ino-chan and then go to the train," she said. "Thank you," Naruto said, hoping to leave as soon as possible. As nice as the woman was, it was clear from her status that she had a way with words. "How did your important mission go? Did everything go well?" "Yeah, it was great. I'll have to tell you all about it soon, but I'm dying to train with my friends right now." "That's good to hear. Now go have fun with those boys, but try not to get into too much trouble," she told him as she waved him away. "Alright, then," Naruto said with a smile for the kind woman. After that, Naruto got to the Yamanaka flowers in about 10 minutes. He got there just in time to see everyone on Team 10, except for the sensei, leave the shop. "Yo," Naruto said to his friend with a smile on his face. "Naruto, welcome back," Choji was the first to say. "How did your vacation go?" In the words of Shikamaru, troublesome, he said with a smile. "But even so, it was great. I'll have to tell you all about it." "Where are you going now?" "Training," answered Shikamaru. "While you were gone, we made Ino train with us against her will." Ino asked, "Who is forcing who?" "Okay, Ino told us to start training with her," Shikamaru said. "Mind if I join you guys?" Naruto asked. Shikamaru smirked. "Sure." Choji had a smile of his own. Naruto made a team without saying anything and asked the two to join. Choji's smile was starting to fade as he asked Naruto, "Damn it, Naruto, you got a lot stronger. What the hell kind of mission were you on?" Ino asked, "How the hell can you tell?" "We just can," said Shikamaru. "We've been training together long enough to be able to tell," he said, and Ino believed him completely. "There you are, Naruto. I've been looking for you everywhere. Do you know that your landlord is a complete jerk?" Sakura asked the group as she walked up to them. "Yeah, I'm aware. So, what's up? Do you want to join us for training?" "Sure," said Sakura. He asked her to come to the party. Choji asked, "She knows?" "Figured it out," Sakura said in response. "You kind of figured it out, Shikamaru." "I feel like there's a secret conversation going on right now that I'm not a part of," Ino said, but she was mostly ignored. "And? It's kind of awesome," Sakura said. "Anyway, this should be a great group, since Sakura-chan has become a pretty good Irionin," Naruto said about his friend. "Oh really, Forehead has finally shown a little skill, huh?" said Ino. "Watch out, Ino, she's much stronger than you are right now," Naruto said with a smile. "Ha, as if," said Ino. "Once a reader, always a reader." "Ino, be nice," Choji told her. "We're all Konoha shinobi here, so let's act like it. Now, are we all ready to get some training done today?" I suppose, said Shikamaru. Fine, said Ino, who didn't look him in the eyes. I'm ready, said Sakura. Sure, and after we're done, we can all go out for a big meal, Choji suggested. Naruto asked, so, where have you guys been training? Mostly fields 12 and 13, said Shikamaru. Field 11 is just too easy. So field 14 or 15 then? Naruto asked. At this point, it would probably be too easy for Naruto, but with so many people around, it might not be a bad idea to try a lower-level field first before moving on to something that could be more dangerous. Sakura asked, do we know what's in either field? No idea, but that's half the fun, isn't it? Naruto asked with excitement. Troublesome, Shikamaru said. Isn't 14 the old battlefield? Asked Ino, her voice slightly shaking. Yeah, so? Isn't that place supposed to be haunted? Alright, then it's field 15, Naruto said, his old fear of ghosts coming back right away. Wimp, teased Sakura. After she teased him, Naruto was tempted to answer back and make them go to 14, but he fought the urge, if only just. He gave her a fierce look instead, which made her just laugh. Let's just go, said Shikamaru. Naruto nodded and jumped onto the nearest roof. His teammate and friends followed him east. The training field in question wasn't hard to get to. It was a swampy area that was made to look like that. Training Field 15. This swamp was made to look like different kinds of battles that could have happened in the First Shinobi World War. Snakes and alligators are still looking for their next meal in this area. Watch where you step, because if they don't get you, the quicksand might. 14 is the recommended level. This should be fun, Shikamaru said straight out. I am not going in there, said Ino. This is a designer kunoichi battle dress from Tsuki no Kuni. Do you have any idea how much it cost me?
It will get ruined in there, so I won't do it.
Naruto teased, so, she's still very vain. I guess not everything changes after the academy. Her status did still include being vain, and he'd be damned if he didn't at least try to change that. He had already stopped Sakura from being a fangirl, so being vain must have been 100 times easier. The corner of Ino's eye moved. I am not vain. Oh please, said Sakura. You're so vain. How long did it take you to do your hair and pick out your outfit this morning? A few hours, but that doesn't make me arrogant. Sakura told Ino, you're a shinobi. If it takes you more than a minute to get dressed and ready for battle, you're wrong. It's easy for you to say, billboard brow, because there's nothing there, said Ino. Sakura's eyes grew smaller. At least I don't look like a slut. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji all moved away from the two people who were about to fight. Bitch. Skank. Whore. Ugly. Deformed. Name calling? Naruto asked Shikamaru in a whisper. Troublesome, he replied in a whisper. Fashion mistake. You take that back, hissed Ino, who was now ready to really attack. Sakura smiled as if she had won. What's wrong? Can't face the fact that you're vain and bad at fashion? Not even a serious kunoichi would do that. Ino's face almost turned the same color as her clothes as her blood pooled and got darker. Like you have room to talk, fangirl. This made Sakura laugh. I was a fangirl, no doubt about it, but I've had. I guess you could call it a rude awakening. Since I became a shinobi, I've worked hard to change myself, but it's clear that you haven't. When Ino gave a glare, you could feel how angry she was. I don't have to do anything to prove myself to you. No, you don't. You have to prove it to all of us. We all have to be able to trust you so that when our lives are on the line, you'll be there to protect us just like we'd protect you, even if it gets a little messy in the process, Naruto said, stepping in before it really came to blows. Naruto seemed to have gotten good at saying harsh things that seemed to get people going. Before Ino spoke, she was quiet for a whole minute. Okay, let's just get through this training field. And your precious dress? Sakura asked. It's just a dress, she said, shrugging and trying to look tough. Naruto gave a groan. He took off his coat and offered it to her. It was long enough to keep most damage from happening to her dress. Give it back to me when we're done here. I'm not going to wear that dirty jacket. Put it on, Naruto said, leaving no room for debate. Ino was scared when she was given such a harsh order, but she did what she was told and put on the jacket. It was about a size too big for her and pretty heavy, but it would protect her expensive dress. She quickly closed the zipper and rolled the sleeve a few times so she could get to her hands more easily. Naruto was left with his white tank top on, which showed off his shoulders and arms even though his forearms were armored. He didn't like how exposed he felt, but things could have been much worse. "Okay, Choji, you're right on, Naruto will be right behind you," Shikamaru said as he started to set up their formation. "Sakura, I want you to follow them, but don't get too close. You're our only healer, so you need to stay alive no matter what. Ino, you and I will take the trail positions. It will be our job to damage any chakra mutations that show up here. I would expect snakes and possibly alligators, but you never know." As they had guessed, the first chakra change they saw was a snake. We didn't expect the snake to be as thick as Naruto and 10 times longer. Anaconda LVL 13. HP. 2200 carbon monophosphide, 100 100ths. This snake grows quickly and moves quickly, too. Also, watch out for his poison, which is very dangerous. So, I'm guessing it's poisonous and probably very fast. Fast, look at how big it is. How can it be fast? Asked Ino. It's all muscle, Sakura said in response. But it's an anaconda, and constricting snakes don't bite. It shouldn't be poisonous at all. Constricting? Naruto asked as he watched the snake sleep. It means that it will squeeze you to death, she explained. Okay, so what are your plans? Choji asked as he armed himself. Naruto just shrugged and jumped into the air with one kunai out and full of chakra. When he hit the ground, he cut the snake's head cleanly off, killing it in one hit. Not really necessary, Naruto said with a confident grin. Troublesome, groaned Shikamaru. What about the other 5 that you just woke up? When Naruto turned around to look, he saw that he had just landed in the middle of 5 more. Even though he was a gamer, he never saw them because they were so well hidden in their surroundings. I just fell into a trap, didn't I? Naruto asked as he suddenly ducked under the first snake, jumped over the next 2, and was hit by the tail of the 4th snake. The thing that hurt him the most was the tree that stopped him, especially the small branch that got stuck in his shoulder. Troublesome, Shikamaru said again, and his shadow quickly tied the snakes together. Choji, start stomping on them. Sakura, try to get Naruto down from that tree so you can heal him. Ino, try to blind the snakes by throwing kunai into their eyes. At the very least, it will dull their senses. The group quickly did what they were told and killed the snakes. After Sakura healed Naruto, he even joined back in. So, even though Naruto made a hasty choice, the first group died quickly. Sorry, guys. I'll be more careful from now on, Naruto said in a sheepish way. Oh, they left their fangs behind, Sakura said as she ran to get them. What would we want to do with their fangs? Asked Ino. Venom, Sakura said as if it was clear. We can get some of their poison from their fangs. It won't be much, but it will be enough to cover a kunai, katana, or anything else. Okay, so maybe they are worth it, Ino said. But how do we split them up? There are 5 of us and 12 fangs. Sakura said, we wait until the end. I'm sure there are a lot more snakes around here, and I'm sure we'll kill a lot of them before we leave. Ino was mad at herself for missing something so obvious. She was clearly still shaken up by what they had said earlier. Seeing Sakura at work was even worse, because she had become a very good Irionin. Shikamaru said, let's move on, we still have to meet Asuma-sensei after lunch, which woke Ino up and got the other one up and moving again. They kept going deeper into the swamp until they found another group of snakes, which they killed even faster than the first group and took 12 more fangs from. This time, though, when they tried to move forward, the water rippled just a little, which made Naruto jump back and pull Choji with him. What's that? Something is moving in the water. Yeah, you idiot, go fish, said Ino. Naruto ignored Ino. He looked hard into the murky water, trying to see what was down there, when he saw something big. This time, he tackled the whole group back as the thing shot out of the water like a giant missile. Its mouth was big enough to eat any one of them whole. It hit the ground hard and then turned around to face them. The alligator was very big, and its skin was as dark as night. Its eyes were a scary yellow that showed danger was near. That is a big purse just waiting to happen, Naruto said when he was the first one to stand up. Level 17 alligator too big. HP. 4500 4500s carbon monophosphide, 100 100s. Big, dangerous, and hungry are not good things for a fool to find while wandering through the swamp. Once this beast has taken a bite, it won't let go. Purse? Asked Ino, who was the first to stand up. When she saw the leathery lizard standing in front of them, she passed out. Right, she's useless, Naruto muttered. Shika, can you move her out of the way? This guy is going to be hard to take down, and we need space to do it. It doesn't have much chakra, but that is a lot of HP, Sakura said as she stood back up. Naruto spit a few mud balls at it to see how tough it was. It was sad to see the mud hit the alligator and make its skin sag, but not break or bruise. Even more so was the fact that so little of its HP fell. Choji asked, could this be the boss already? No way, said Shikamaru. Think Mama Boar. Choji shook his head and said, I sure as hell don't want to see this thing's version of a Papa Boar. I do, said Naruto with a grin. He had done a good job of making the alligator angry, because it was now attacking him with no care in the world. It didn't seem to have many skills or abilities. When it got mad, it just went after the person who made it mad and tried to eat them. Naruto was pretty good at making animals angry, and he wasn't too bad at keeping himself from being eaten, either. So it was a very slow kill, or it would have been if the alligator hadn't turned and run down the path as soon as its HP dropped below 4000. It ran away? Naruto asked, looking very puzzled. I've never seen a mutation just turn around and run like that. This could be a problem, Shikamaru said. Guys, Choji said, pointing with a shaky finger down the path to where the alligator ran. Naruto and Shikamaru both looked down the path and saw at least a dozen snakes coming at them quickly. Choji asked, it sent its minions? Choji, you've been playing too many games lately, said Shikamaru. Sakura, wake up Ino. We can't protect her and fight this many at the same time, said Naruto, who was already making a dozen clones and sending them ahead to slow down the snakes and maybe kill one or two while he was at it. Naruto's clones were able to slow them down, but they only killed one snake. Choji stopped them all in their tracks by stomping a giant foot and turning over the swampy ground. It didn't last long, but it gave Naruto and Shikamaru time to attack the snake pile with fireballs and mudballs, killing some and hurting others. By the time the snakes got to them, there were only 3 of them left, and they were all pretty hurt. It didn't take long for Ino and Sakura to attack them from a distance, while Naruto and Choji kept their attention on them. Naruto told Sakura to heal Choji, refill her chakra, and then heal herself. He said, I think we have a small break. Choji was hurt when he first tried to stop the snakes, but it was just a precaution. Sakura nodded and went to work. Choji's wounds weren't life-threatening, but they were there as a precaution. The group followed the path made by the snakes and alligator. When they got to the next clearing, the alligator was waiting for them. Its head was now covered with sharp, shiny metal spikes. Naruto would have groaned at the alligator, but he didn't have time. The alligator charged at the group crazily, its head digging a hole in the soft ground as it went. The group moved out of its way to avoid any damage they could have gotten. The alligator didn't stop charging until it hit a mangrove tree, which stopped it in its tracks. It took a few shaky steps back from the tree, shook its head once, and then turned and glared at Ino. After hitting the tree, the alligator's health dropped by about 50 points, which Naruto noticed. Ino, dodge. Find a tree, and when it comes at you, duck behind it. It hurts itself more than our weapons. Everyone found a mangrove to stand in front of, and then they just had to avoid the stupid alligator. When its health dropped another 1,000, it roared loudly, turned, and ran away, making a new path through the swamp for them to follow. Naruto put up a guard right away in front of the path the alligator made, and he was right to do so. Another dozen snakes were coming right for them, but this time they were better prepared. The snakes never had a chance. Does anyone else think this alligator will keep doing this until we kill it? Asked Sakura. Does anyone else wonder where the armor comes from? Asked Ino. Does it really surprise anyone that the training fields in Konoha are a mess? Naruto asked. It was a fair question, since none of them could have expected anything but weird. Troublesome. Shikamaru, say it again. I dare you, Ino said, giving the not-so-lazy genius a hard look. Shikamaru let out a sigh, but he didn't say anything. Naruto said, let's move on, and he was the first one to walk toward the path. Choji quickly passed him and took his place at the front of the line. The gator was waiting for them in another clearing. This time, it was wearing more armor all the way down its spine and over its tail, which was now tipped with a ball of spikes that looked like a morning star. Choji, Naruto, it's not very smart, hit and run from one end of the field to the other, but don't let it get close to you or it will tear you apart. How do we kill it? Asked Choji. Its stomach is still open, Sakura said. So explosive tags along its running path? Asked Ino. Yes, but you'll have to do it at the right time or me and Choji will be in trouble, Naruto said. We have a plan, so let's carry it out, Shikamaru said as he began to put an explosive tag on his kunai. Shikamaru showed Ino and Sakura how to fight, so they did the same. Choji and Naruto charged in first, ready to anger the giant black alligator. Naruto started it off by firing a few mud bullets at it, but the bastard's armor was so strong that they did almost no damage. After the first pull, it was easy to move the ugly gator around the field, but it was harder to hurt it. At the beginning of the fight, the explosive tags didn't go off at the right time, but as they got into a rhythm, they went off more often and did more damage. One more pass should finish it off, said Shikamaru, who was out of breath. Even though Naruto and Choji were kiting the beast all over the field, Shikamaru, Sakura, and Ino were running just as much. Every time their tags did a big shot of damage, the alligator would go crazy and run around wreaking havoc on anything he could. There were some very close calls, and Shikamaru even came close to being beheaded once. The last of the explosive tags went off, reducing the alligator's hit points to 1. It roared in pain and spat out blood, then turned and limped away, looking completely defeated. Where does it go from here? Why isn't he dead yet? Asked Ino. He is dead, Shikamaru said. He knows it, too. Do you get it? Asked Ino. Naruto didn't answer, but he went after the beast anyway because it was dangerous and he needed to make sure it died. The alligator was lying on the ground, taking its last breaths. Chisayao, cried a young man as he hugged the dying alligator. Who would do this? Who would do something so bad to you, my dear friend? My blue baby alligator. Naruto was surprised to see someone there. He was probably 3 or 4 years older than them and wore a black leather alligator skin jacket and pants. On his forehead was a Konoha forehead protector, and above his head was a name. Wani Washi LVL20. You, he hissed when he first saw Naruto. You did this? What could a friend do? Even a Konoha shinobi did this? I'm the last of my clan, the Wani, and you killed my partner. My life as a shinobi is over. Now I'll kill you before I kill myself, and my partner's death will be avenged. Your friend just tried to eat me and my friends. How did you think things would go? Little Blue wasn't dangerous, so you must have started it by trying to hurt him. You can't get out of this by talking. I will kill you now. May the Shinigami torture you and your friends forever. Naruto complained, this is totally messed up. Dude, we don't want to fight you. You don't have a choice, the young man said before he disappeared and reappeared right in front of Naruto. Naruto was hit hard in the stomach and on the side of his face, which let Shikamaru grab Washi with his shadow. Are you going to stop this now? Naruto asked Washi as he moved away from her. I will never stop, he hissed, and his chakra suddenly flared, freeing him from the bind. When Nin no Jutsu, he almost shouted. The man's body began to change in a dramatic way. First, his face grew longer, turning into that of an alligator with pale leathery skin. Then, he hunched over slightly, and a ridge along his back popped out of the back of his jacket. Finally, Washi's transformation also raised his level from 20 to 30. This guy's level was way too high to be in this field if he was part of this fake dungeon. Either they found something they shouldn't have or this was a really bad training field, worse than any he'd run before. My shadow bind can't grab him anymore, Shikamaru told the team as a warning. Naruto said, I'll go after him first. Keep him busy while you guys figure out how to deal with him. He knew he had the best chance of staying alive. Wani Washi LVL 30. HP. 2500-2500's carbon monophosphide, 1250-1250. Washi is the last of his clan. He has a close relationship with Chisayao, an alligator he has raised since it was a baby. His clan is known for the close relationship they have with alligators, which is similar to the relationship between an Inuzuka and a Ninken, but much more volatile and dangerous. Naruto attacked first with a flurry of kicks and punches from himself and several clones that appeared to attack and fill in if needed. It didn't do much damage, but it kept his attention. Washi fought back quickly with a few snaps of his long, sharp teeth, followed by spinning kicks and tail lashes. Naruto winced when a tail lash and kick combo hit his hip, stomach, and ribs, but he fought through the pain and made sure to switch to a clone when that attack combo came again. Shikamaru was trying to come up with a plan while Naruto kept him busy. We don't want to kill him because he's a Konoha shinobi, but we do need to stop him, which means knocking him out. Ino looked at Naruto and Washi fighting and winced as Naruto took another pretty hard hit that probably would have killed Washi, but he got right back up and attacked again. How do you think we should do that? She asked. With this, Sakura said, holding up a vial. It's a paralyzing poison. If we give him enough of it, we'll be able to hold him down long enough to try to knock him out. We just need to figure out how much of it to give him. Ino, do you have those senbon still? Asked Choji. Yes, but why? Didn't Asuma-sensei say that they are a great way to deliver poison because they can get into places where other things can't? Oh, yeah, said Ino, grabbing the senbon she had in her pouch but had never used. Will they be able to cut through that hide of his? Shikamaru said, absolutely. His skin isn't as thick as that of the oversized alligator we fought earlier. Just look, Naruto's been able to cut him a little. It was true that Naruto had cut the guy a few times, mostly on his arms where the scales didn't go past the upper arm. Ino quickly gave Sakura the senbon, and Sakura began dipping the needles one by one into the vial before giving them back to Ino and Shikamaru. She kept a dozen needles for herself in the end. Choji, you guard us. If this makes him mad, we'll have to keep him away from us until Naruto can get his attention back. Shikamaru twisted the senbon in his hand to feel its weight before throwing one. Naruto yelped when he suddenly felt something poke him in the left cheek of his behind. He quickly turned around and saw Shikamaru grimacing. Sorry about that, Shikamaru said. Aim next time. Naruto yelled before turning back to the alligator man hybrid. He ducked under Washi's snapping jaw just in time to avoid a piece that would have cut off his head. Unfortunately, ducking let Washi's tail whip hit him in the face and send him careening across the swampy terrain. Naruto felt a little slow as he stood up. As he stood up again, he had to shake his head a few times because he felt slow. Were those needles poisoned? Yeah, just hold out a little longer, said Sakura. Naruto slowly nodded, showing that he was feeling the effects. When he looked back at Washi, he saw that needles were sticking out of his arms and that he was moving slowly toward Naruto, and each step seemed to slow him down more. Washi had slowed down a lot, so Naruto knew that now was the time to throw mud balls at him. He did hand seals as fast as he could and spat out a mud ball. Washi didn't even notice the mud coming at him because he was so focused on his transformation. When the first mud ball hit him in the head and knocked him back, he didn't care. He cared even less when the next 3 mud balls hit his chest and arms. He couldn't care anymore when something hit him with the force of an anvil and knocked him out. Naruto and the others were shocked when a blue leathery ball about half the size of Washi's body came out of the swamp water and hit the boy, knocking him out. Before Washi even hit the ground, his transformation had already started to fade. They were even more shocked when the ball turned into another alligator, which was much smaller than the first one they fought and was all blue. Wani Chisai Ao LVL20. They were shocked when the alligator stood on its back legs, bowed toward them several times, and growled something they would never understand. It then turned toward Washi, picked him up with its short front legs and paws, and slapped him several times. Is this the afterlife, Chisai Ao? When the boy saw his partner, he groaned. Chisai's tone and inflection changed several times as he growled at the boy. I'm not dead? What keeps you going? A different set of growls. But I saw you die, and I held you in my arms. The alligator hit him a few more times and growled louder. I thought you'd grown up enough to fight them. More punches and growls. Washi got red in the face and scratched the back of his head before turning to look at Naruto and his team. This is such a shame. I thought you were going to kill Chisai Ao. You do know Chisai is blue, don't you? The other alligator was black, right? Ino yelled. Ah. Well. You see. The fact is. Because we are related to alligators, my clan can't tell colors apart. Ino had to be held back, but Shikamaru was way ahead of her and had already done that. He also held Sakura back, but that was more of a safety measure and was thankfully not needed. Well, it looks like I have to go. Sorry for the trouble. Oh, and for your trouble, I guess you can have this. He threw a scroll at the group and said, I was done learning it anyway. Then he and Chisai jumped into the swamp and disappeared into the murky water. We just let him go? We're definitely going to report him, right? Demanded Ino. You can try, said Shikamaru. No one was really hurt, so it's not a big deal. Speak for yourself, Naruto said. He had used up half of his HP trying to stop the guy, protect his friends, and keep Washi from being hurt too badly. Oh, stop whining, I'm healing you right now, am I not? Sakura asked as she worked to heal Naruto's wounds and get rid of the poison he'd been accidentally hit with. Shikamaru, what is on the scroll? Asked Ino. Sweden. Teppodama no Jutsu, he said. Is that my Doden, Teppodama, in water form? Asked Naruto. Pretty much, Shikamaru replied. Who wants it? Give it to Ino Pig, Sakura said. She needs something if she's going to be useful in the future. Shikamaru said, troublesome, knowing that the two of them were about to fight. He gave the scroll to Ino, which immediately took her mind off of her plan to hurt Sakura, or at least try to hurt her. Thank you, head. Choji said, check it out. While the others decided what to do with the scroll, he went to look at the oversized alligator's body, which had broken down quickly after it died. He now had a stack of Ryo and a metal-plated skull in his hands. What the heck is that? Ino asked, pointing at the skull. Naruto looked at it and turned on his observe, without saying anything. Wani Skullcap is the head of a chakra-mutated alligator that has a strong metal plate bonded to it. It is blessed with the strength and toughness of the alligator it came from and has stats of +20 def, +20 vit, +10 s, t, r, and 75/75 dur. Naruto said, that should definitely go to Choji. It has a lot of defense, and the chakra in it will make him stronger and give him more energy. What makes you think that? Ino asked, her eyes getting suspicious. Shikamaru answered for him, Fuinjutsu. Because of it, he can tell when his chakra is getting stronger. That's pretty neat. Perhaps you're not so useless after all, said Ino with a smirk. Whatever, Ino Pig, Sakura said in support of her teammate. If it weren't for Naruto, you'd already be gator food. Anyway, how much Ryo did we get Choji? 15,000, he said, that's the most we've ever gotten. He then put the money into equal stacks and gave each person a stack. So, what now? Asked Ino. Now, we leave this Kami-forsaken swamp, Naruto said. Sakura had finished healing him, so it was time to go. Then, Shikamaru and I haven't played shogi in a long time, he added. I'm going home to take a shower, said Ino. This place is so dirty. Jacket first, Naruto said, putting his hand out for it. When we get out of the swamp, said Ino. I didn't come this far to risk getting my dress dirty now. Ino Pig, you and I are going to Higarashi's first, and then you can go home and take a shower. Like hell. You're going, Sakura said in a firm voice, leaving no room for debate. Ino frowned and said, fine, but I won't be wearing anything as ugly as your outfit, you fashion-impaired shrew. You'll wear it if I say so, you ugly purple monster. Sakura yelled. It didn't take long for the two of them to start fighting again, but this time there was none of the anger that had been there when the day began. This went on all the way out of the swamp. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji all sighed and gave each other a shrug before following the girls out of the swamp. Status. Name. Uzumaki Naruto. The Gamer's Class. Genin, +10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level. LV 25 next level, 26.54%. Belongs to Konoha. HP. 4,164,160ths. CP. 3,298 STR. 60, 41.00, equals 101.00. VIT. 55, 111.00, equals 166.00. Dex. 60, 22.00, equals 82.00. Int. 62, 17.75, equals 79.75. Wis. 55, 34.38, equals 89.38. Luck. Def. 219, 54.75, equals 273.75. SPD 10, 62.00 equals 72.00. Status. Uzumaki plus 10 Vit, plus 10 Int, plus 50% experience to Fuinjutsu. Skill. Kyubi Jinchuriki, plus 100 HP and plus 100 CP per level. Inspirational Leader, plus 25% to any team's experience gain. Uzumaki Naruto is the last person in this year's graduating class. He got a low score because he couldn't make a basic bunshin. After the test, Naruto proved his worth by stopping a traitor and learning 2A rank Kinjutsu. He has finally found out who his father is, but he still doesn't know how the Kyubi got away. Point. 5. Ryo. 539,000. Name. Nara Shikamaru. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level. LV22 next level, 97.12%. HP. 870/870ths. CP. 590/590ths. STR. 47. VIT. 87. Dex. 58. Int. 59. WIS. 480. Luck. 5. SPD. 54. Status. Tactical Genius, plus 2 WIS per level, plus 35% experience gain for all skills. Shadow Element, can control and manipulate shadows, minus 15% cost to Cage Jutsu, plus 10 control to Cage Jutsu. Natural Leader, plus 25% experience gain for advanced tactics skill. Akamichi Choji. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level. LV21 next level, 74.12%. HP. 2,232,230ths. CP. 444/140ths. STR. 148. VIT. 55. Dex. 30. Int. 44. WIS. 41. Luck. 4. SPD. 34. Status. Hulk, plus 80, HP and plus 5, STR per level, 10 Dex, Connoisseur, plus 15% cooking skill effectiveness, plus 25% cooking skill experience gain, Faithful Friend, plus 10% to all stats when on the same team as Exalted Friend. Name. Yamanaka Ino. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level. LV20 next level, 99.74%. HP. 370/370ths. CP. 1200/1200. STR. 22. VIT. 37. Dex. 32. Int. 120. WIS. 118. Luck. 9. SPD. 21. Status. Mindwalker, plus 5, WIS and plus 5, Int per level, plus 10 control to Kokura Jutsu, minus 15% cost to Kokura Jutsu. Vayne, minus 10 VIT, 10 STR, 10 Dex, Fashionable, plus 15% effectiveness of Bartering, Skill, plus 25% experience gain to Bartering, Skill. You've been to bed and slept there. HP and CP have been fully fixed. Standard Operating Procedure, or SOP. Naruto knew a lot about it since he started doing daily quests many months ago. So, when it came to doing the quest, there was nothing new about it. At this point, Naruto had done so many quests that he could almost do them on autopilot. Nothing about them surprised him anymore. Until they decide to turn on him all of a sudden. After the episode with the Wani clan shinobi, Naruto did his normal daily quests and got the last few points he needed to change his status to unfriendly, which was great. It was to be expected, since he had worked hard on the daily quests to improve his reputation with them. After getting unfriendly, he had hoped for a big change, maybe even a little service. It was really like night and day. Even though the staff at the 4 shops he moved into the unfriendly realm were still a bit rude to him, they no longer refused to serve him or threatened to kick him out on sight. The best change was that they suddenly gave out all new quests. Higurashi didn't really change, but that was alright. The best part was that his game let him do all of his new daily quests again for the day. Naruto wasn't going to ask why, because it meant more money and fame, which he could never have enough of. Alert for the daily quest, 0/5. Salvage Operation. Pick up broken weapons from the 1st through 10th training fields. Get together 30 pieces of old metal. Finishing reward. Your reputation with Higurashi weapons will go up. 500 Ryo. Failure to finish. Use Higurashi weapons to lower your reputation. Daily quest alert, 1/5. Herbs are needed. Go to training fields 1 through 10 and pick fresh herbs that grow there on their own. Gather 30 groups of fresh herbs. Award for finishing. Raise your reputation with Yakiniku Q. 500 Ryo. Failure to finish. Lower Yakiniku Q's reputation. Accepted, 2/5, daily quest. Alert for the daily quest, 2/5. Picking wild. From training fields 1 through 10, gather fresh fruit and vegetables that grow on their own. Get 15 vegetables and 15 fruits from the wild. Increase your reputation with farm stand to earn the completion reward, 500 Ryo. Failure to finish. Lower your reputation with the farm stand. Accepted the daily quest, 3/5. Daily quest alert, 3/5. Delivery service. Bring goods to people in your area. Give out 5 packages all over the village. Finisher's reward. Raise your standing with Konoha General Store, 500 Ryo. Failure to complete. Lower your standing with the Konoha General Store. Accepted the daily quest, 4/5. Alert for the daily quest, 4/5. All natural remedies. From training fields 1 through 10, gather the leaves of medicinal plants that grow in the wild. Get 30 leaves of herbs that can help you. Find the box of medicinal leaves that has gone missing. Increase your reputation with the Konoha Apothecary. 500 Ryo.
Failure to complete. Lower your reputation with the Konoha Apothecary.
The daily quest was completed, 5/5. Naruto took on the quests with joy. It was a lot easier than what he was doing before because he could do most of it in one place, the open training fields, except for the deliveries, which weren't too hard. The first 4 training fields didn't have much to gather. Both training fields 5 and 6 had people training on them. One was a team of genin he didn't know, and the other was a pair of chunin sparring. Even so, training field 7 was a surprise. Sakura had already been there to train on her own. "Hey, what's up, Sakura?" Naruto asked as he walked onto the field. She told him, "Training, I still have a lot to catch up with you and Sasuke," he said. "You've caught up a lot, but it won't hurt," he said. "Are you training here?" "Not yet, I'm still trying to do my daily quests." "What are daily quests?" "Some of the shopkeepers in the village give me little jobs or quests to do for them. In exchange, I get a little money and some reputation points," he said, looking around the training field for anything he needed. "Reputation?" "Yeah, you know, building up my reputation with them and making them like me more," he said in a clumsy way. "That's possible? It seems that I don't mind the work or the money, and it usually doesn't take too long." "Huh, well, good luck. Are you going to train when you're done?" "That's the plan," he said in response. "Do you want to work out with me? You can leave a clone with me to practice genjutsu on if you want. You can come back when you're done." "I want to work on my skills today, so that would help me out," she said. "Sure," Naruto said, putting together a group and inviting her to join. He would only need one more second to make a clone, but he had a thought that made him stop. One clone would use up half of his chakra, which seemed like a waste since Sakura would just use genjutsu after genjutsu on it. But having 100 clones, of which he could send 99 to get the things he needed for his daily quests, would not have been a waste. He just had to smile. When loud pops and puffs of smoke covered the field, Sakura jerked back a little bit in surprise. When she could see clearly again, she saw 100 copies of Naruto. "Why are there so many?" "One for you, and 99 to do my daily quests for me," he said with a smile. "I can train perfectly well now that they are doing all the hard work for me." "That's a good idea. I wish Kakashi-sensei would let you do that on our missions. I tried that once, but he wasn't having it, if you remember." Sakura shrugged. It didn't take long for the army of clones to run away and do their jobs. Naruto, meanwhile, aimed for one of his favorite climbing trees and ran toward it. He easily charged up the tree, turned around, and ran back down, keeping a steady pace as he went, slowly using up his chakra and getting skill experience. Slowly but surely, the clones made their way back to the field, each carrying a different pile of fruits, vegetables, herbs, leaves, and scrap metal. Naruto was surprised by how much the clones were able to get, and by the time the last clone came back, they had almost 10 times as much of each thing as they needed. Naruto got rid of the clones one by one, taking back his chakra from them, and then he gathered the supplies. It looked like they had gathered enough for Naruto to turn in the quest items for the next week and more, assuming none of the items went bad in that time. Okay, I'll run and turn these in quickly, and then I think I'll train something else today. Are you good on your own? Yes, you can still leave a copy, right? Yeah, he can stay. I don't know if he has a maximum range, though, so if he suddenly disappears. Well, you get the idea. That's fine, Naruto. I'll see you later. See you later, Sakura-chan. Naruto broke up the group and ran back to town to turn in the quests, which was an easy thing to do. Then, for each delivery, he sent a copy with a slip of paper to sign. He looked around the Konoha general store while they did that. He had never been able to do it before. The store had a wide range of home goods, including things for home repair, home improvement, furniture, and a lot of other things, like shogi boards of different quality and some clothes for regular people. Naruto bought some new undershirts and boxer shorts because he had both time and the chance to do so. All of the clones came back with their forms signed, which Naruto turned in. He then got his money, paid for the things he wanted to buy, and left. After that, Naruto went home to try to find something new for his Fuinjutsu skill. He hadn't found anything new in the past few weeks, which could be because his level was too low to learn anything new. He had used up almost 200 Kabaku Fuda Grade 2, while he was in Wave, and now he had to buy new ones. It took a lot of time, and he could have done it while he was in Wave, but they were in immediate danger, so he thought it would be better to spend his time learning how to fight. But since he was back home in Konoha, he had time on his hands. Naruto went back to his shabby apartment and sat down at his rickety kitchen table to work on it. He had made about 20 of them in about 10 minutes. If he kept going at this rate, it would take him hours to finish. As luck would have it, that was when his clone with Sakura finally disappeared. This gave him about a dozen levels in Detect Genjutsu, and a new skill he hadn't expected. Dispel Genjutsu, active, LV1 Express, 0.00% carbon monophosphide, 50. Genjutsu is meant to confuse the senses. Knowing when you're caught in it is half the battle to breaking it. The other half is to actually break it. By moving your chakra around, you may be able to break the hold of the foreign chakra that is invading your system and stop the effects of the Genjutsu. Genjutsu has a 1% greater chance of being destroyed when it is active. Even though the clone memories were scary, the death of the clone did give him an idea. He made a single copy of himself. Then, the clone sat down next to him, took out a paintbrush, and started making a Kabaku Fuda Grade 2. When the clone was done, Naruto looked at his skill level and was very happy to see that he had gained experience. New plan, me and the clone plus Fuinjutsu equals winning. After that, Naruto and his clone were able to finish all 200 seals in just under 2 hours. It also helped Naruto get just above level 25 in his Fuinjutsu skill, which was a bonus. Alright, let's see if I can find anything good today, he said, hoping that level 25 of the skill would bring something. In his Fuinjutsu skill tree, Naruto turned on Discovery. Discovery has been successful. Shozen Fuda Grade 1, you have found a new seal. Shozen Fuda Grade 1 is a tag with healing chakra that isn't very good. Restores 150 to 200 HP to the person or thing it is used on. Naruto was so excited that he could hardly hold it in. This was a very big deal. He didn't need Sakura to heal him anymore when he was training. He could run dungeons on his own without having to wait for his HP to slowly recover after each fight with a monster. He could now train as hard as he wanted without any limits. Oh, yeah, I'm going to use this way too much. You've been to bed and slept there. HP and CP have been fully fixed. Naruto and his friend's week of free time and training went by quickly. They got together almost every day to run through a training field, mostly to make money since they weren't learning much anymore. They even went back to training field 15, the swamp where they fought Washi and the alligator, and it was completely different. Even though it was weaker, a big alligator still jumped out of the water. So weak that it couldn't get away before it died. Then they had to fight through 2 groups of snakes before they came face to face with a hard-headed alligator, which attacked in the same way as before, but also killed one of them and didn't run away. There were 2 more groups of snakes, and then there was an armored alligator. It died and left money but no skullcap and, most importantly, no washi. Naruto thought that the fact that washi was there was a big deal. Anyway, Naruto trained hard that week, using all the new things he'd learned about his clones, especially the healing tags, which all of his friends liked, even Sakura, because it saved her chakra. Naruto was, for once, the first one to get to where his team was meeting. He meant that he was there a few hours before anyone else was supposed to be. So Naruto met up with his favorite tree to climb on again. Naruto stopped training as soon as Sasuke and Sakura showed up. He got his chakra back and then used a few of his healing tags to fix the damage from the Raiden, Chakra Denka no Jutsu. What were those? Sasuke asked, which was a surprise because it wasn't a question. Naruto answered, cut your hand, because he wanted to see what Sasuke would do. Why? Trust me, cut off your hand. Sasuke looked at him with doubt. Just do it, Sasuke-kun. You'll be surprised, Sakura added. Sasuke finally gave in. With a kunai, he cut his hand just enough to draw blood. What now? Naruto took out a new tag and held it over the cut. Then he used chakra to make it work. The fuda lit up green for a moment, and then it broke apart. Sasuke was a little shocked when he saw that his cut was gone. What did you say? Shozen Fuda, a seal tag with healing chakra in it, said Naruto. Pretty cool, right? I just learned how to make it this week. Can I buy some of that from you? No need, Naruto said, handing over a pile of 50. I've been making a lot of them all week, and you can get some. Thanks, he said in a low voice as he stuffed the stack into a pouch on his hip. Naruto grinned at getting a thanks from Sasuke. Most of the time, the boy was still very cold, but he seemed to have grown a little respect for his team. It wasn't much, but it was something. At that point, Naruto would have teased him more, but Kakashi's arrival stopped that. Hello, my little students. I hope you all had a good week of rest. Today, we're back to work, Kakashi said, with his nose in his little orange book. Naruto yelled, bring it, sensei. He was very excited. HN. Nice to see you again, too, sensei. Anyway, I thought we could focus on training today and make sure you haven't lost your skills after a week off. Sakura, playing along with their weirder than usual, asked, what will we be doing? A little conditioning, maybe some sparring, and if you're not too out of shape, I might even teach you a little something. It's only been a week, not a year. We couldn't have gotten out of shape in that time, Sasuke said with a deadpan look at their sensei. It was clear that Sasuke didn't want to play along. Naruto and Sakura both nodded their heads to show that they agreed with what was said. We shall see, Kakashi said, and with a twinkle in the one eye they could see, he warned them that pain was on the way. And they did feel pain, because Kakashi put them through the ringer. When he said, conditioning, he made them run around the village, even on their hands for one lap. When he said, sparring, he meant him against them, one-on-one, and he didn't hold back much. Well, you didn't get as bad as I thought you would, so I guess I can show you something new. All he heard from the bodies lying on the ground in front of him were 3 groans. Now pay attention, I'm going to talk, Kakashi said. First of all, you all know that chakra is the mixing of spiritual and physical energies. Who can tell me how this energy can be used? Sakura? Sakura groaned but sat up anyway. We can send the chakra out of our bodies and make it do what we want, even on our own bodies or the bodies of other people. Good, but what else can chakra do? What do you mean, sensei? What can your chakra do for your muscles? Naruto stood up and put his hand up. Naruto? He said, it can make you stronger and faster. That's good. There are 2 ways to get stronger and 2 ways to get faster. Today, we're going to talk about speed. First, does anyone know both ways? HN. Please tell your teammates what you know. You can force chakra into your muscles for a quick boost of speed or strength, or you can circulate and store chakra in your muscles for a steady increase in speed or strength. Excellent, said Kakashi, smiling behind his mask. His strange one-eyed smile was the only thing that let his students know he was smiling. So, we'll work on it for the rest of the day and then maybe have a race. The winner gets to choose where we eat dinner. As usual, Naruto was excited to learn something new, especially if he was going to get ramen as a reward. Because of his chakra sprint skill, he already knew that he could speed up by putting chakra into his legs. This gave him a sudden burst of speed. But this new one was about giving his legs a steady flow of chakra. Naruto first used as little chakra as he could and then kept it in his legs. Once he knew he had kept the chakra there, he tried to run, but it didn't feel any different. You need to push yourself, Sasuke told him. You can't just run lightly like that. You have to push yourself to run fast, and then run even faster, until you're running faster than you've ever run before. The more you do it, the more chakra you can use, and the faster you'll run. Naruto understood what was being said, but he didn't know why Sasuke was helping him. Don't think I'm going to help. Since you gave me those tags, we're now even. I don't like owing anyone anything. After saying that, he turned and left to work on his own training. Naruto laughed a little at how Sasuke was acting, but he quickly went back to his training. He ran around the training area slowly at first, but picked up speed as he went. He had to keep control of his chakra or it could end up hurting him a lot. Before he knew it, he had reached his physical limits. That's when he started pushing a little more chakra in, and he noticed a big boost in speed, but it wasn't as wild as the chakra sprint. He found that he could turn quickly without having to slow down at all. It was a great feeling that Naruto had just started to enjoy when a blue message window came up and took his attention away. Through a special act, a special skill has been made. The movement boost, chakra speed LVL. 1 inch was made by using your chakra to make you faster and more agile. Naruto pushed the button without really paying attention to where he was or where he was going. When he finally looked around, he saw that he was out of control and leaving the training field quickly. He tried to run away, but a tree stopped him before he could leave the training area. A little while later, Naruto woke up with a blue window above him, waiting for him to close it or read it. Chakra speed, active or passive, LV1 Express, 0% 10 every 5 seconds. The chakra that flows through your body has been focused on your muscles, making you faster and more agile. If you use a little more chakra, you can move even faster, but be careful not to hurt your muscles. Passively adds 1% to Dex. Passively adding 20% to SPD. Each activation gives an extra 1% speed. When used more than 20 times at once, you take an extra 100 damage every 5 seconds. When Naruto closed the message, another one came in its place. After you've learned the 2 basic speed skills that shinobi use, you've unlocked SPD and can now train to get faster. Naruto would have cheered if hitting that tree hadn't hurt his face and body so much. The message was over. You've discovered a new speed called Faster, which makes your SPD go up by 1. You've discovered a new speed called Faster, which makes your SPD go up by 1. You've discovered a new speed called Faster, which makes your SPD go up by 1. You've discovered a new speed called Faster, which makes your SPD go up by 1. You've discovered a new speed called Faster, which makes your SPD go up by 1. As Naruto closed the message windows, he groaned. Sakura, he cried in pain. Tree hurt. Come heal me. Before he passed out, Naruto heard Sakura's answer of Baka in the background. You've been to bed and slept there. HP and CP have been fully fixed. Naruto and his team had been back at work for a month, and it was pretty much the same old grind. Wake up, have clones do his daily tasks, run a training field with his friends, train, meet his team and train more, plus a D rank mission, then more training in the occasional training ground with Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto told his sensei that he was ready for another C rank, but he was turned down right away without an explanation. After what happened in the wave mission, Naruto thought the man was afraid something bad would happen to them. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all said that it was very unlikely that something like that would happen again, but no one listened. Naruto was getting more than ready. In the past month, everyone on his team had moved up nearly 2 levels. Shikamaru's whole team had even moved up a level. All of them had to work hard for a long time to get to that point. Naruto was getting less than 1% of a level from a D rank mission and only about 5% of a level from a training field. It was very disappointing. So, Naruto and his team sat down and waited for their sensei to show up. He arrived late. He was late for the first time since they had met him. I don't like this, Naruto grumbled. He's always on time. Maybe we should go look for him, said Sakura. Grunted Sasuke. Are you sure that we should just wait here, Sasuke-kun? Naruto agreed with Teme. He will show up eventually, or the old man will send someone to tell us. I'm glad you all think so highly of me, said a voice from behind them that they all knew too well, but that didn't stop it from scaring them all almost to death. Kakashi had a small laugh when he saw how his genin reacted. 10 meters above them, Naruto was hanging on to a branch of a tree. To protect himself, Sasuke pulled out his sword. Sakura just gave him a hard look and didn't do anything else. Naruto hissed, "Not cool, sensei," and then he let go of the branch and fell to the ground. Sasuke grunted as he put his sword back in its sheath. "Did you really not expect that?" Sakura asked her friends, rolling her eyes. I did not, Sakura said with a strong voice. "How dare you accuse a lady of doing such a thing, Sasuke-kun?" He muttered with a smug grin. Sakura huffed and crossed her arms. Her cheeks were a little bit pink. "She's kind of right. It was kind of rude to point out that she wet herself a little out of fear," Kakashi said. The man seemed to be in a bad mood that day, being late, sneaking up on them, and then saying that. "So why were you late, sensei? Do I need to talk to the old man?" "You can if you want." "I was late because I was with the Hokage," he said. Naruto asked with a face full of excitement, "Did you finally decide to give us another C rank?" "Nope, even better," he said. "B rank?" Sasuke asked, and he was even getting excited. "Better." "A rank?" Sakura asked, a little scared. "Better." "S rank?" Naruto asked in a whisper. A moment later, he yelled, "Yada. Better." Naruto stopped in his happy dance. "What's better than S rank?" "This," Kakashi said, handing each of them a separate piece of paper. Sakura asked, "What's this?" Before she began to read the form. "I've nominated you 3 for the Chunin placement exams that will be held here in a week," he told his students as they read the forms. Sasuke asked, "Is this why we haven't done another C rank?" "Yes, I didn't want to start a C rank because I didn't want to miss this. That's also why I've been so hard on you all for the past month," he said. Naruto cheered, "You're the best sensei ever, Kakashi-sensei." He then tried to hug the man, but ended up hugging Sasuke instead, which made him feel a little weird. "You're the worst sensei ever, Kakashi-sensei," Naruto hissed as he pulled away from Sasuke and pawed at himself to get rid of any possible teme infection. "You're a little crazy, aren't you?" Kakashi asked in a casual way. "You're a lot perverted, aren't you?" asked Sakura, arguing with him and insulting Naruto at the same time. Naruto cried, "I feel so unloved," as he got on his knees and made circles in the dirt with his finger. "Get over it," said Sasuke, smirking. "Anyway, it's up to you to decide if you want to enter. If you want to train with me before the test, I'll be here tomorrow. If not, just show up at room 301 at 10 a.m. a week from now," Kakashi said. Then he went away, leaving the leaves to blow in the wind. "Well, I'll be here tomorrow, will you guys?" started Naruto. "Sure," said Sakura. "Fine, but don't make me slow down." His usual answer made Naruto and Sakura both roll their eyes. "So, lunch anyone? I'm feeling like ramen." "You always feel like ramen," said Sakura in response. "Yeah. So? Let's just get him some ramen. Maybe that will make him stop talking for a while," Sasuke said as he led the group. "Okay, ramen, how do you spell that?" "Ramen, ramen. Yay ramen. Baka," Sakura and Sasuke accidentally said at the same time. Status. Name. Uzumaki Naruto. The Gamer's Class. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level. LV26 next level, 84.32%. Belongs to Konoha. HP. 4272 4270 seconds. CP. 3409 3409. STR. 61, 41.10, equals 102.10. VIT. 56, 371.20, equals 427.20. Dex. 61, 26.47, equals 87.47. Int. 63, 277.88, equals 340.88. WIS. 56, 37.80, equals 93.80. Luck. Def. 219, 54.75, equals 273.75. SPD. 41, 75.40, equals 116.40. Status. Uzumaki, plus 10, VIT, plus 10, int, plus 50% experience to Fuinjutsu. Skill, Kyuubi Jinchuriki, plus 100 HP and plus 100 CP per level, Inspirational Leader. Any team you're on will gain 25% more experience when you're on it. Uzumaki Naruto is the last person to graduate this year. He got a low grade because he couldn't make a basic bunshin. After the test, Naruto showed his worth by stopping a traitor and learning 2A rank Kinjutsu. And finally, he has some answers about his past, but there are still some questions. Who are his parents? What did the Kyuubi do to get away? Point. 10. Ryo. 624,000. Chakra speed, active, passive, LV 1351.23%, 10 every 5 seconds. The chakra that flows through your body has been focused on your muscles, making you faster and more agile. If you use a little more chakra, you can move even faster, but be careful not to hurt your muscles. Passively ups Dex by 7%. Passively ups SPD by 26%. Each activation gives an extra 1% speed. When used more than 20 times at once, you take an extra 100 damage every 5 seconds. Rate and Affinity, passive, level 24 end, 18.12%. The ninjutsu style of being able to control and manipulate lightning. Actively increase the effects of Raiden by 24%. Raiden. Chakra Denka no Jutsu, active, LV 49 Express, 13.31%, 3 HP every second. By manipulating Raiden chakra, you can get your body to make more chakra. While active, you get an extra 49 CP every second. Passive Doden Affinity LV 21 Express, 25.55%. The ability to use Earth-style ninjutsu and control it. Actively increase the effects of Doden by 21%. Ishi no Hada no Jutsu, active, LV 41 EXP 65.41%, 10 every 5 seconds. Manipulate the earth and stone around you to make a thin layer of earth armor that will protect you better. When active, you get an extra plus 200 def. Doden. Teppodama no Jutsu, active, LV 22 Express, 41.14% carbon monophosphide, 40. AD rank ninjutsu. You can now quickly spit a ball of mud at an enemy to hurt them. The closer you are to your target, the more damage and accuracy you do. Deals blunt damage 64 to 84. Detect Genjutsu, passive, LV 29 Express, 14.12%. Genjutsu is meant to confuse the senses. Knowing when you're in one is half the battle to getting out of it. Passively find out about 29% of Genjutsu effects. Dispel Genjutsu, active, LV 7 Express, 31.21% carbon monophosphide, 50. Genjutsu is meant to confuse the senses. Knowing when you're caught in it is half the battle to breaking it. The other half is to actually break it. By moving your chakra around, you may be able to break the hold of the foreign chakra that is invading your system and stop the effects of the Genjutsu. Genjutsu has a 7% greater chance of being destroyed when it is active. You've been to bed and slept there. HP and CP have been fully fixed. As planned, Naruto got up early and left his apartment quickly to meet Sasuke and Sakura. After their first day of training with Kakashi, they were told to keep an eye on the main gate for teams from other countries coming to Konoha. As the teams from the different villages came in, Naruto would check their level and suggest whether or not they should be looked into further. Unfortunately, Sasuke wasn't always easy to convince. Even so, it wasn't always easy to convince Sasuke, like when a level 13 genin came in with a huge club that made him look like a wall of moving muscles. Naruto finally gave Sasuke permission to follow him and find out for himself, leaving Naruto and Sakura to make up for any mistakes. Between the three of them, they would watch the different teams to see what strategies they might use, what good habits they might have, or anything else they could use against them. They were only able to follow them for a few hours before they had to meet Kakashi for training, but they did learn some important things. Because of this, Naruto's Observe skill had also grown a lot. Observe, passive, active, level 36 Express, 15.21% carbon monophosphide, 5. By observing things, situations, and people over and over again, you develop a skill that lets you get information quickly. The more skill you have, the more information you can get. With only one day left, Sanagakure was the only village that hadn't come yet but was still expected to. When they did come, it was a bit of a letdown because they were all pretty average. No one stood out. Then Naruto saw that there was another group following the main group. This last group really stood out. Sabaku Tamari LV 28. Sabaku Konkuro LV-26. Sabaku Gaara LV-34. That group, Naruto replied. He's dangerous, Sasuke said as he turned on his Sharingan and focused on the young man with the gourd on his back. So we should follow them? Sakura asked. Absolutely, Naruto and Sasuke both said at the same time. So, they kept a safe distance and watched. Very quickly, it was clear that all of the other Suna genin were afraid of this team. Based on their level, they had good reason to be afraid of them, but then it turned out that even the team members were afraid of one of their own. Gaara's brother and sister were afraid of him because of something about him. Naruto used his watch to try to figure out what was going on. Name: Sabaku Gaara. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level: LV34 next level, 61.21%. Suna is his group. HP: 620/620ths. CP: 920/920ths. STR: 25. VIT: 62. Dex: 25. Int: 92. Wis: 96. Luck: 3. Def: 1900. SPD: 17.50. Status: Unstable Ichibi Jinchuriki, plus 50, def per level, plus 25% control of Suna Jutsu, Terror of Suna, minus 50% to all reputation gains, Insomniac, minus 50% to SPD, minus 25% to recovery, and minus 50% to bonus stat gain. Sabaku Gaara is one of the Kazecage's 3 children. Even so, people dislike, hate, and fear him, as shown by the many attempts to kill him, most of which were ordered by the Kazecage himself. Gaara was made to be a weapon, but because of a bad seal, the demon inside him is always tormenting him, which has messed up his mind. He is a killer in every way. That didn't make Naruto feel good about his tests. Gaara was similar to him, but he was a lot more dangerous and seemed to be very unstable. He's much more than dangerous, Naruto said. He needed to talk to the Hokage about this, but for now, they would follow him and his team. The group went to a hotel where they checked in with the other Sanagakure genin. After that, Kankuro and Temari left, so they were no longer with each other. Naruto told Sasuke, stay here and keep an eye on the one with the gourd. Be very careful around him. Sakura and I will go after the other two. Sasuke wordlessly agreed, not even grunting. Naruto would have liked to stay and keep an eye on Gaara himself, but he knew that Sasuke would never let him. Kankuro and Temari sort of just went around the village aimlessly. Sakura asked, did you see that? What's up? The girl was talking to the bag on the boy's back, but she stopped herself, and I'm sure she did, Sakura said. Suna Kugetsu? Naruto asked. He already knew the answer was puppeteer, because he had used observe on him. It's possible, even likely. They kept following the man and woman around town, mostly to find out about the puppet he used but also to see if they said or did anything that might give them away. Then Naruto noticed something that even surprised him as he did it. Naruto watched as Temari looked around the village in a quiet way. She looked at the roofs and the streets. This might have seemed like paranoia, but Naruto was sure that she was up to something. He probably would have left it there, but one of the village kids got Kankuro in trouble. I'll stop it, Naruto said. The old man wouldn't be happy if Konohamaru hurt himself. Will you watch my back? I will, said Sakura. Naruto fell from the roof and landed in an alley near the Suna genin, where he was out of sight. When Naruto said, Oi, let the kid go, Kankuro stopped hitting the kid. Oh, that's right. What are you going to do? Asked Kankuro. Naruto said with confidence, even though he was lying through his teeth, I'd be happy to kick your behind, but I'm pretty sure the Anbu members who are now coming toward us would rather do that themselves. Bullshit, said Kankuro. Do you know who that child is? Do you really think I give a fuck? You really should, I mean, aren't you idiots aware of the important political figures in the main villages and their families? I would think you would know this even better since you are the Kazecage's children. Temari let out a sudden gasp. Kankuro, you idiot, drop that kid and give up now, or we're all going to die. What are you talking about? Kankuro asked, but when he looked up, the real Kankuro, who had been hiding in the bundle, had his knee on his neck and a kunai ready to cut him open. Temari struggled to say, he's the fucking Hokage's grandson, because the Anbu holding her had his hand around her neck and had just slammed her into the wall. She didn't struggle at all because she didn't want to do anything to make the Anbu angry. Kankuro would have said more, but the Anbu's knee was pressing into his neck and throat, making it hard for him to breathe. Tamari was pulled away from the wall and put in front of an Anbu commander. The Anbu asked in a dull voice, "Do we have a problem?" "We're sorry, we didn't. Take your brother back to your hotel and stay there until the exams start tomorrow. If we see you out again without supervision, we will detain and question you." With a puff of smoke and a loud pop, the three Anbu vanished. "I tried to warn you," Naruto said with a small smirk. He might miss his prankster buff, but when it suited him, he was still able to pull off some amazing pranks. He just had to hope that if the real Anbu found out what he did, they wouldn't get mad at him. Naruto would have said more, but Gaara came in a gust of wind and sand, which caught him off guard. Gaara looked at his brother, Tamari, who was on the ground and was already getting bruises on his neck. "You're both embarrassing. The cage won't be happy with you." "It was a mistake," Tamari began to say, but Gaara stopped her with a look. Gaara turned his angry face toward Naruto and asked, "Who are you?" Naruto didn't like the way Gaara was looking at him like he wanted to kill him. "It's proper to give your name first," Sasuke told the boy, who was leaning against a nearby fence as if he'd always been there. "Sabaku Gaara. Uchiha." "I don't care about you, I want to know his name," Gaara said, looking at Naruto with a serious face. "Uzumaki Naruto, but you can call me Nisama, just ask Ichi," Naruto said with a smile when he saw Gaara's eyes open a little wider. When he heard Gaara's voice shake a little, it made him smile even more. Gaara then turned away from Naruto after saying, "I'll see you in the exam. And kill you. Tamari, carry Kankuro. You've embarrassed us enough. Let's go back to the hotel." Tamari nodded without saying anything, then put Kankuro on her shoulder and dragged the puppet behind her. Sakura then fell to the ground. "What was that Nisama thing about?" "Oh, that. Well, don't worry about it. He got it, and that's all that really matters. Also, thanks for the genjutsu back there, it made the trick even better." "Hey, you jerk!" yelled Konohamaru as he came out from behind the trash can where he had been hiding after Kankuro let go of him. Naruto pointed to himself and said, "Huh? Me? Yeah, you. You cut me off. I totally had that guy, and you stopped me from giving that makeup-wearing freak a kick in the behind," said the boy. "What are you talking about? I just saved your behind from an epic beating. You should be on your knees bowing down to my awesomeness." "Amazing? Nah, not really. Maybe amazing short. What did you say, you shithead?" "You heard me, what are you going to do about it?" "I'm the Hokage's grandson, you can't touch me. You're not that brave. I bet you're wetting yourself right now, huh? I bet you all." Naruto hit the boy in the head with his fist, leaving a nice bump on the boy's hard head. "Shut up, you spoiled brat. You could be Hokage for all I care, and I'd still kick your behind if you keep talking like that." Konohamaru moaned in pain and grabbed his head, which was ringing. "Ow, why did you do that? No one ever bothers me. I'm not no one. I'm Uzumaki Naruto, future Hokage, and don't you forget it." "That's it," yelled Konohamaru as he jumped up and pointed an accusing finger at Naruto. "From now on, I'll be your apprentice. You'll teach me everything you know, and one day we'll fight to the death. Since I'm a natural prodigy, I'll win, and I'll become Hokage." "The Hokage's grandson is an idiot," Sakura said as the boy kept talking and talking. "We're going to be late for training," Sasuke said. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke left to go to training, leaving Konohamaru behind to keep talking about how great he is and what he will do in the future. Before the boy realized he was alone, it had been almost an hour. "You've been to bed and slept there. HP and CP have been fully fixed." Naruto didn't like how quickly morning came. Kakashi had been hard on them all week, even the day before the test. It was hard, but it was worthwhile. Naruto went through his morning routine quickly and was out the door to meet his friends for breakfast when Choji's mother insisted that they all come over for a big breakfast. Naruto wasn't going to turn down an offer of free food. The Akamichi family was as big as their home, and everything else was bigger. Bigger doors, bigger furniture, and best of all, bigger food and more of it too. Choji had invited Naruto over a few times in the past, and each time it was for an amazing meal that left him full for days. A big event like this was bound to be hard, so having a good breakfast to start the day was a good idea. Naruto knocked on the door and waited. He could hear loud noises coming from inside, like lots of laughter and maybe even some roughhousing, so he knocked again. Shuza, Choji's father, finally opened the door after a minute. "Morning, Naruto," the older man said with a big smile. "Morning, Akamichi-san. Please, Naruto, we're all shinobi here. Just call me Shuza," he said as he opened the door for Naruto. Just inside the door was a pile of shinobi sandals, which Naruto added to right away. He then went inside with Shuza to the dining hall, which was definitely a hall. Choji had told Naruto that the dining hall was the biggest room in the house. It was big enough to fit the whole Akamichi clan at once, so when they had clan meetings, they always did it as a banquet. Choji said that people who were well-fed were more likely to find a middle ground. This was why there wasn't much fighting in the clan and everyone seemed to be happy and content most of the time. Choji said, "Naruto, it's about time you showed up," as his friend walked into the hall. Shikamaru and his parents, then Ino and her parents, and even Sakura and her parents all came to say hello to Naruto. Sasuke wasn't there, which wasn't too surprising since he had been invited but either decided not to come or hadn't shown up yet if he was planning to. Even though the room wasn't even a quarter full, it was still loud. Choji's mother quickly put Naruto in a chair and put a full plate of food in front of him. "Just make sure you eat all the fruit and oatmeal, you'll need your carbs," the clan mother told him, pointing to the portion set out for him. Naruto's eyes got really big when he saw how big the bowl of oatmeal was. It was as big as an already too big ramen bowl. Naruto swallowed nervously before digging in with gusto. He didn't want to let down the Akamichi matriarch after all she had done for him and all the trouble she had gone to. Naruto couldn't believe how easy it was for him to eat the thick oatmeal. When it was all over, he was more surprised that he still had room for more. Naruto ate his fruit, some of the different kinds of meat, and some eggs. During all of this, Naruto and the other genin tried to listen in on the adults' conversations as they ate their meals under Choji's mother's watchful eye. "Otto sent a team," Inoichi said. Kazashi, Sakura's father, said, "It seems like there are always more and more hidden villages. And none of them last very long," Shuza said. Shikaku, who was leaning back in his chair and not really eating, said, "There's something about this one that bothers me." Mebuki, Sakura's mother, asked, "Where is this Otogakure?" "That's part of what worries me," Shikaku said. "We really don't know." Ino's mother asked, with a worried look on her face, "How is that possible? How did we even invite them to the exams without knowing where to send it?" Inoichi said, "It's an open invitation, and all of the elemental nations know it's going to happen. It's not exactly a big secret. Still, it's scary when a village we've never heard of suddenly appears." "Their genin are talented, too," said Shikamaru, pushing his own plate forward. He was obviously done eating and wanted to join the conversation. "But how do you know that?" "Team 7, he replied in a lazy way. All of a sudden, everyone was looking at Naruto and Sakura. Kakashi-sensei suggested that we watch the gates all week to see what teams are coming in and then try to figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are, Sakura said. She had been picking at the food in front of her, just like Ino. She ate, but not even close to as much as the boys. And made Inoichi continue. "It looks like only one of the teams is a real threat," she said. "Two boys and a girl, Abumizaku seems short-tempered, and he's definitely a ninjutsu specialist. We saw him playing with wind in an attempt to flirt with a civilian girl. When she turned him down flat, he created a blast of wind that nearly blew her skirt up if she hadn't acted fast to hold it down. The girl, Tsuchi-kin, we saw her messing with a senbon at one point, so she probably uses poison. Don't forget about the bell she was messing around with," Naruto said. "Right, and possibly auditory genjutsu," she said next. Kinuta Dosu, the last boy and their leader, seems to be a taijutsu type, but we didn't learn much about him." "Interesting, anything else?" asked Shikaku. "Yeah, they had the same idea as us. We caught them trying to spy on us while we were spying on one of the teams from Suna." Sakura couldn't help but shiver a little at the memory of Gaara's bloodlust. "Are you cold, sweetheart?" Mebuki asked Sakura when she saw her shiver. "No, I was just remembering that boy from Suna." "Oh, does someone have a forbidden love interest from another village?" asked Mebuki, teasing her daughter. "That's not even funny, Kasen," Sakura snapped, and a frown appeared on her face right away. "He's dangerous. I think he's the most dangerous person I've ever met, even more dangerous than Zabuza." "Oh, and who is this?" Shuza asked, leaning in to find out. I told the Hokage about him yesterday, Naruto finally said, leaning back from his mostly empty plate. He told me not to talk about him, but if any of you run into him during the exam, you should run away as fast as you can and not look back. Flee on sight, for a genin? Shuza asked. How dangerous is he, really? That's enough, Shuza, Shikaku said to stop him. We can ask the Hokage about him, but until then, I think you should do what Naruto said. Just because they're afraid of him doesn't mean he's that strong, said Ino. Inoichi just heaved a sigh. Ino, stop contradicting yourself just to show Sakura-chan up. It's a real warning, and you'd be smart to listen. Ino made a mean face at her father. Now that's enough, both of you, said Ino's mother. Inoichi, you don't have to be so harsh, and Ino, you don't have to be so stubborn. Both of them told me to stop talking about it. Anyway, it's time for you kids to get out the door, Yoshino said. And Shikamaru, if you quit, I won't ever let you sleep in again. You hardly let me sleep in now, he grumbled. Want to say that again? His mother asked with an annoyed eyebrow twitch. I said, before he could finish, his father covered the boy's mouth and led him out of the house, making sure he didn't say anything he'd really regret. Naruto left with the others and thanked the Akamichi family very much for the meal. From there, it wasn't far to the academy, where Sasuke was waiting for them just outside the main entrance. You're almost late, he told her angrily. So we're on time, Naruto said to correct him. Grunted Sasuke. Shikamaru said, let's just go in already, hoping to stop any fights that might happen. Inside, they met a big group of people in front of a room marked 301. Genjutsu detected. Naruto opened his eyes wide when he saw the warning message and sent it away quickly. After looking around for a while, he went back to the stairs and realized they had only gone up 2 floors. Get out of the way, Sasuke told them. While you're at it, get rid of this weak genjutsu. The sound of slapping could be heard right after he said that. If you looked, you'd see that both Shikamaru and Naruto face-palmed in shock that the supposed genius would do something so stupid. You dumbass, said someone else in the crowd who had seen through the trick. Sasuke glared at the girl who said it and asked, do you have any idea who you're talking to? I'm talking to a dumbass, she said again. Only a complete idiot would tell all the unqualified that there was a genjutsu here. Don't you get it? This was part of the test, and you just told another 15 people the answer to the first part. What kind of idiot are you? My name is Uchiha Sasuke, and yours? Your name is now, dumbass, Tsuchi-kin, until you prove me wrong. He told her in an arrogant tone, you will fall first, and then pushed past her to get to the stairs that led to the 3rd floor. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Sasuke was so uncool there, Ino said. Sakura said, I know, with her head hung low. Let's hurry up before he gets into even more trouble, Naruto said, pushing the group forward. He could have seen Tenten and her team coming up behind them if he had just waited a few more minutes. Outside of the real room 301, Kakashi was reading pornographic magazines while Asuma rolled a cigarette. So, you all came, Asuma was the first to say. Choji asked, why wouldn't we? It's a test for the whole team. If one of us didn't take it, none of us could, Shikamaru said. Ino asked, you mean I didn't have to take this stupid test? Asuma smiled and said, no, but since you're here, you might as well. You planned this, Ino told the man, giving him a hard look. Asuma asked, and? Because she was waiting for her to say something that wasn't clear. I like your teacher, Naruto said with a smile. He's pretty cool. Troublesome, groaned Shikamaru. You say that now, but you haven't had to listen to him talk about his girlfriend. He said, I don't complain about my girlfriend because I don't have one. I'll be sure to tell Kurenai you said that, Kakashi said, grinning behind his mask. Damned you, Kakashi. Naruto couldn't help but laugh a little because it was pretty funny to see. Ma, you kids should go inside, said Kakashi before Asuma could do anything else to embarrass himself. See you later, sensei, Naruto said as he led the group. Wish us luck, sensei, Sakura said, trying not to laugh at the way Asuma was looking at her. Troublesome. I'm ready for a snack, so let's hurry inside so I can have one. Why me? Ino moaned as she followed the rest of the group into the room. When Naruto walked into the room, he got the quest alert he had been waiting for ever since Kakashi told them about the exams. Quest alert. Stage 1 of the Chunin selection exam. Complete the first part of the Chunin selection exam and do well. Objectives. Get a good grade. Goals for extras. Award for completion, 50,000 express. 25,000 express per bonus objective. Completion failure, 10,000 express. The end of the Chunin exam. Naruto read the quest. It was fair, and he could say no if he didn't want to do it. He tapped the accept button and went into the room without anyone noticing. The room was full of genin from all over, and his passive ability, observe, was buzzing with information that was ready to be taken. There was a lot of information available, including names, levels, and titles. Yahoo! Yelled a voice that was familiar. Naruto looked around and saw Kiba and his group coming toward them. "What's up, dog breath?" Naruto said with a smile. Kiba and Naruto didn't get along very well, but they did like to play jokes on each other. It was just a part of their unique friendship that they would insult each other. "Not much, short stack," he said, also smiling. Choji asked, "Seen anything interesting yet?" "Nah, they're just more punks waiting to get their asses kicked." Naruto asked, "By who?" He tried to ask with a straight face, but it didn't last. "Ass," Kiba muttered, also trying not to laugh. It was a good joke, no doubt. "Anyway, it looks like all the rookies are here. Mom says it's a big deal for even one rookie team to be nominated for the exam, let alone 3. Sasuke grunted with a superior grin on his face. Naruto asked, "Could you be a little more arrogant? If we didn't have enough skills, none of us would be here." Sasuke said this time with a sneer and his arms crossed. "Jerk," grumbled Naruto. "Anyway, you and your group, are you ready for the tests?" He said, "Hell yeah, we're going to take this thing by storm." Naruto stopped for a moment to watch Kiba and the rest of his team coming toward him. It wasn't all that great. Name: Inuzuka Kiba. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level: LV20 next level, 89.99%. HP: 900 hundredths. CP: 300 300ths. STR: 130. VIT: 90. Dex: 130. Int: 30. Wis: 35. Luck: 3. SPD: 95. Status: Feral, plus 5, STR and plus 5, Dex per level, 10 Wis and minus 10 Int, Pack Leader, plus 10 Int, plus 10 Wis, and plus 10% damage when in a group. Ninken Master: Ninken Partner does 20% more damage and gains 25% more experience with each level, and so on. Inuzuka Kiba is part of the Wild Inuzuka clan, which is known for getting along well with Ninken. Their clan's close relationship with Ninken has given them animal-like skills in jutsu, which make them fierce fighters and great trackers. Even though Kiba is the son of the head of the clan, he is a pretty average Inuzuka. Name: Hyuga Hinata. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level: LV23 next level, 87.14%. HP: 900 hundredths. CP: 450 450ths. STR: 30. VIT: 90. Dex: 221. Int: 45. Wis: 60. Luck: 2. SPD: 46. Status: Unconfident, minus 15% damage, minus 5% damage when in a team, flexible, plus 5 Dex per level, plus 0.25 SPD per level, kindness, plus 20% to all reputation gains, weak Byakugan, plus 2 Dex per level. Hinata Hyuga is a member of the elite Hyuga clan, which is known for its dojutsu and its own style of taijutsu. She is a very nice girl, but she is very shy, so her classmates don't know her well. She gets the strength to get better by looking at the person she looks up to the most. Aburame Shino is his name. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level: LV21 next level, 96.21%. HP: 900 hundredths. CP: 770 770ths. STR: 50. VIT: 90. Dex: 50. Int: 77. Wis: 98. Luck: 2. SPD: 55. Status: Creepy, minus 10% to all reputation gains, plus 50% effectiveness to stealth, dedicated, plus 25% more experience, plus 50% more bonus stats, logical, plus 2 int and plus 3 wis per level. Shino Aburame is a member of the well-known Aburame clan, which is known for being quiet and appreciating the little things in life. Because they are known to have a colony of Kakaichu living inside of them, their techniques and abilities are not only powerful but also very creepy. Shino is the heir to the clan and is training to be a very good shinobi. Hinata was still the strongest member of the team, which surprised Naruto because she was so shy and lacked confidence. But it did say that she worked hard to get stronger and better, which was pretty cool. Even more impressive was the fact that she had grown so much without going to the training fields with him and the others. Shino and Kiba were a different story. Both of them let Naruto down a lot. He'd come to expect more from them, especially since Shikamaru was at a higher level. But they didn't go with him to the training fields. They didn't gain any more experience from it like he and the other people did. Naruto decided at that moment that after the exams were over, he would try hard to get Team 8 to join his training group. The 9 genin heard a new voice say, "You newbies should be quiet." Naruto looked in the direction of the sound and saw a genin with silver hair and glasses. His smile was warm and friendly, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. Naruto had seen this look many times before. Yukushi Kabuto LV? Naruto was worried after he heard that bit of information. The fact that, observe, didn't do anything for him, not even change his status, made him very worried. He could help Kakashi-sensei change his status. Could that mean that this guy was more powerful than Kakashi? It also made me wonder why he was taking the Chunin test here. Naruto asked, "Who are you? What do you want?" As he reached for his weapons pouch with one hand. "Don't worry so much. I'm a Konoha shinobi just like you guys. I just thought I'd come give you some advice since you're all new and making a lot of noise. Just look around, you've gotten a lot of attention," Kabuto said, trying to calm them down. "Yeah, right," Naruto said. "What do you really want?" "Seriously, I have these info cards with information I've gathered over the years to prove it." "Do you know anything about people?" Sasuke asked, a little bit curious. "Of course," Kabuto said. "Who do you want to know more about?" "Sabaku Gaara and Uzumaki Naruto," said Sasuke. "Ass. Don't go telling everyone what I know," Naruto said right away. "We're a team, you jackass, so start acting like it." Kabuto said, "It's okay, Naruto-san. I won't read your information card if you don't want me to, but I can tell you what I know about Sabaku Gaara." That did catch Naruto's attention, and he wondered how Kabuto's information was different from what he had learned through observe. "Alright, let's see what you've got," Naruto said, taking a step back and crossing his arms. Kabuto told the genin, Sabaku Gaara, "I show that he's done 8 C rank missions and 1 B rank mission. I show that he's done every mission without even getting scratched." It was what Naruto thought it would be, but Kabuto's card didn't say anything about his abilities. "He's from Suna, so I don't know anything else about him." "What about your information card?" Naruto asked, wondering how he would answer. "Well." Kabuto paused and scratched the back of his head while nervously laughing. "Like you, I don't want my skills to be known to everyone." It was a good way to get out of trouble, but it didn't make Naruto trust the man with the as the title. Sakura asked, "Have you taken the test before?" "Yeah, this is actually my 7th time. How else do you think I got the information for my cards?" "Wow, you must be terrible," Kiba said, laughing at his own joke. "The Chunin selection exam is very hard, and people have died here," Kabuto said, displeased with how Kiba was treating him. Naruto would have asked him more questions, but someone he knew showed up and took his attention away. "Hey, Tenten, come over here," he told her and her group. Naruto saw Neji snort in disgust, mumble a few words to his teammates, and then walk away. "So, Neji is still a jackass, huh?" Naruto asked as Tenten and Lee walked over to the genin. "Do you have to make everyone hate you?" Sakura asked Tenten before he could answer. "What? That guy is a jerk." "You shouldn't talk about him like that," said Tenten. "He's the most powerful genin here for a good reason." Naruto told her, "No, Sabaku Gaara is the most powerful genin here. If you and your team run into him, run away, or he will kill you all." "We're stronger than you think," Lee said in protest. Naruto tried to make it as clear as he could. "You are strong, but he is much stronger. You don't have to believe me, but I hope you'll put a little trust in me." If you ever meet him, you run. If he could help it, he didn't want any Konoha shinobi to die. Kiba said, "Ha, I never thought you were a chicken, Naruto." "It's not chicken," Sakura replied. "Gaara is very dangerous, and he's right that you should run away from him if you ever meet him." "Like you're one to talk, little Miss Fangirl," Kiba snarled, insulting her instead of even thinking about the free advice. Sakura narrowed her eyes, but she didn't say anything back. "Kiba-kun," Hinata stuttered as she tried to calm things down. Kiba growled at Sakura, "Stay out of this," and his eyes were fixed on her. Hinata ran away right away. Naruto yelled, "Hey, what the hell is wrong with you? Don't talk to Hinata that way. All she wants to do is keep you from making a fool of yourself, which you seem determined to do anyway." Kiba moved a little, but he didn't give up. His instincts as a member of a pack tell him to become the leader. "I'll also kick your behind, Naruto." "Enough, you scumbags," yelled a new voice in the room. This one was older and sounded like it wanted to kill. Kiba gave Naruto and Sakura one last look before he turned his attention to the proctor. "My name is Morino Ibiki, and I'm the proctor for the first stage of the Chunin selection exams. Now, form a line. You'll each get a seat assignment," the man told the genin, urging them to move right away. Naruto moved like everyone else, and when he saw something, he looked around at the other genin in the room. There were a few genin in line whose levels were in the upper 30s, which was way too high to take this test. He also saw that the genin had a title that said, Chunin next to their names. "Strange," Naruto said in a whisper. Shikamaru asked, "What's that?" as he stood in line behind Naruto. "Some of the people taking the test aren't genin, they're Chunin," he whispered back. "That's too bad, they must be plants for something." "Plants? Like spies?" Shikamaru answered, "Maybe," as he tried to quickly think of different possibilities. "I would guess that these guys have the answers to the test, and we need to steal them." "How do you steal them? Why do you steal them?" He said, "The test is probably ridiculously hard, so the real test isn't answering the questions, it's getting the answers." "We should tell the other rookies," Naruto said. Yes, but don't tell anyone." Before they got to the front of the line and were given a seat, Naruto and Shikamaru were able to tell the other new genin. Naruto was lucky enough to be sitting next to Hinata, whose face was friendly even though it was a little red. "In a minute, you will turn over the paper in front of you. You will have 1 hour to answer the first 9 questions. The 10th question will be given at the end of the hour. If you are caught cheating, you will lose 2 points. If you lose 6 points, you and your team automatically fail," Ibiki said, creating a tense and nervous atmosphere in the room. Even though Naruto knew it was all a trick, he still felt the pressure from the man. He only had to figure out how to cheat without getting caught. He knew Sasuke's magical eyes would help him find the answers, and he thought Sakura was smart enough to figure out the answers on her own. "You may begin," Ibiki said. Naruto wasn't ready for him to start the exam because he didn't know how to cheat yet. Naruto would have been more scared if his body hadn't started moving on its own and giving him answers. Naruto looked down and saw a shadow going to most of the rookie 9 genin along the floor. Naruto couldn't help but smile. Shikamaru would owe him a lot for this. Shikamaru took about 20 minutes to fill in all the answers, and when he was done, he let go of his hold. Shikamaru let out a sigh of relief as Naruto watched. Then Shikamaru put his head down and closed his eyes. Naruto looked to his right and saw that Hinata had also finished her test and was just waiting for the next step. Bonus for completing an objective, 25.000 Express. Stage 1 of the Chunin selection exam. Complete the first part of the Chunin selection exam and do well. Objectives. Get a good grade. Goals for extras. Don't lose any points while cheating. Award for completion, 50,000 Express. 25,000 Express per bonus objective. Completion failure, 10,000 Express. The end of the Chunin exam. When he was told that the bonus objective completion had been reached, Naruto tried not to look surprised. He was shocked to find out that he had missed a bonus goal. Unless you count the stupid Kunai and Shuriken quests in the academy, he had never missed an objective, bonus or not. Naruto tried to think about everything that had happened since he went into the test room and agreed to do the quest. What was strange? In that time, what could he have missed? Then he realized that Kabuto was strange. Why is a shinobi here who might be stronger than Kakashi? With no less than a genin team. Then there was the information he was giving out. Was he a plant, too? But couldn't they have used any of the other hidden proctors in the same way? Then there was the fact that he said he had failed the test 7 times before. If he was that good, he should have been able to pass easily. Naruto wrote a few notes on the back of his test. He didn't expect Ibiki to tell them to put down their pencils. Okay, maggots, it's time for the last question, the man said. But first, there is a special rule for this question. If you choose to answer it and get it wrong, not only will you fail this test, but you won't be able to apply for Chunin again. After she said that, all of the genin there yelled out in protest. But I took this test last year, so you're lying, shouted Asuna genin. That's too bad, I wasn't the proctor last year. Anyone who wants to quit can do so now and try again next year. Naruto watched with morbid interest as the genin in the room started leaving like flies. One would leave, and then his teammates, who were not happy, would follow. Naruto knew that if he or anyone else on his team quit, there would be no next time, and the team would be gone forever. So he had to take a chance and hope he knew the answer. Naruto stood there and waited while Ibiki made fun of everyone in the room, getting more and more people to give up. Then Naruto saw Hinata raise her hand as if she wanted to quit. He wasn't going to let that happen. To hell with you and your damned question, he ended up shouting. I'll take it. What kind of shinobi doesn't like a little risk every now and then? Ibiki replied, boy, this is your job we're talking about. I'm going to be Hokage someday, so even if you don't let me take the test again, I'll still become Hokage, and then I'll fire your ass for making up such a stupid rule. Bonus for completing an objective, 25.000 Express. Stage 1 of the Chunin Selection Exam. Complete the first part of the Chunin Selection Exam and do well. Objectives. Get a good grade. Goals for extras. Don't lose any points while cheating. Get your fellow genin excited. Award for completion, 50,000 Express. 25,000 Express per bonus objective. Completion failure, 10,000 Express. The end of the Chunin exam. Congratulations. Your level has gone up 1. I see, said Ibiki. He looked around the room and saw that any fear he had made people feel had gone away. Then you get a passing grade. 50,000 Express was given for completing the goal. Stage 1 of the Chunin Selection Exam. Complete the first part of the Chunin Selection Exam and do well. Objectives. Get a good grade. Goals for extras. Don't lose any points while cheating. Get your fellow genin excited. Award for completion, 50,000 Express. 25,000 Express per bonus objective. Completion failure, 10,000 Express. The end of the Chunin exam. Naruto asked, what? Because the answer threw him off. What do you mean, you pass? The last question asked who was willing to risk everything even if it meant bad things would happen. Those who chose to stay answered the question correctly and passed this part of the test. Tamari asked, with anger on her face, what about the rest of the questions? They will be taken into account in your overall promotion chances. Now. The window broke inward, cutting off what Ibiki was going to say next. Instead, a large black tarp with white writing that said, Proctor for the second exam, the fabulous Mitarashi Anko, covered the man so that he couldn't be seen. I'm the person in charge of the second test. Mitarashi Anko. She shouted to introduce herself. Let's go to the next level. Status. Name. Uzumaki Naruto. The gamer's class. Genin, plus 10 points added to the amount of experience gained. Level. LV27 next level, 7.11%. Belongs to Konoha. HP. 4,722 4,720 seconds. CP. 3,509 3,509. STR. 61, 31.10, equals 92.10. VIT. 56, 146.20, equals 472.20. Dex. 61, 44.30, equals 105.30. Int. 63, 17.88, equals 350.88. WIS. 56, 39.48, equals 95.48. Luck. Def. 239, 59.75, equals 298.75. SPD. 41, 77.04, equals 118.04. Status. Uzumaki, plus 10, Vit, plus 10, Int, plus 50% experience to Fuinjutsu. Skill, Kyuubi Jinchuriki, plus 100 HP and plus 100 CP per level. Inspirational Leader, plus 25% to any team's experience gain. Uzumaki Naruto is the last person to graduate this year. He got a low grade because he couldn't make a basic bunshin. After the test, Naruto showed his worth by stopping a traitor and learning 2A rank Kinjutsu. And finally, he has some answers about his past, but there are still some questions. Who are his parents? What did the Kyuubi do to get away? Point. 15. Ryo. 624,000. Skill for the workplace. Fuinjutsu. Active, LV39 EXP 14.11% carbon monophosphide, 20. You can use this professional skill to make seals that you can use to improve your gear, make explosives, or just put things away for later. Kabaku Fuda Grade 3, AA Mid-Quality Explosive Tag. Stats. 75 to 125 explosive damage, 10 meter explosive radius. Grade 3 Storage Scroll, a storage scroll of average quality. Up to 80 kilograms of stuff can fit. Shozen Fuda Grade 2, a tag with healing chakra that is of low to medium quality. Restores 250 to 300 HP to the person or thing it is used on. Plus 50 def and plus 20 vit to chest. Improve your gear by adding 50 points of defense and 20 points of health. Plus 50 def and plus 20 int to chest. Make your gear better by adding 50 points of defense and 20 points of intelligence. Plus 8 dex to forearm. Make your gear better by adding 8 points of dexterity to it. Plus 8 whiz to forearm. Make your gear better by adding 8 points of wisdom to it. Plus 8 STR to forearm. Make your gear better by adding 8 points of strength to it. Plus 8 dex to shin. Make your gear better by adding 8 points of dexterity to it. Plus 8 STR to shin. Make your gear better by adding 8 points of strength to it. Plus 8 whiz to shin. Make your gear better by adding 8 points of wisdom to it. Plus 75 vit to legs. Make your gear better by adding 75 points of vitality to it. Plus 75 int to legs. Make your gear better by adding 75 points of intelligence to it. Reputation. Honored. Higurashi Weapons 5,250 10,000ths. Unfriendly 351 thousandths Konoha General Store. Yakiniku QA Unfriendly 351 thousandths. Farm Stand A Not Helpful 351 thousandths. Unfriendly a 351 thousandths Konoha Apothecary.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.